Elbows Up has turned into a Canadian rallying cry from Mike Myers on SNL recently to a big event. This was held in Ottawa recently, and now to Nathan Phillips Square tomorrow. Those two words, Elbows Up, have been dominating our conversations lately. So to continue the conversation this morning about Elbows Up Canada, there's an event downtown tomorrow. The organizer of the event, Peter Wall, joins us. Peter, good to see you this morning. I love this term, Elbows Up. It's really a hockey term that's turned into an overall Canadian term here. What's planned for tomorrow at Nathan Phillips Square?
Yeah, so it's a gathering for Canadian unity. You know, Canada is having a moment right now, Nick. We are going through something, and a lot of us are feeling this thing. We are emotional. We're frustrated, we're concerned, and when you are going through something, it's natural to gather. We gather for weddings, for funerals, for birthday parties. So we are gathering for Canada on Saturday at Nathan Phillips Square.
So who's going to be there? What can people expect if they show up?
So we have Arlene Dickinson speaking, Sean Majunder, the comedian, is going to do a set. We have Jim Cuddy playing that song that he wrote, and maybe another song or two. We've got a mix of other musicians. It's going to be a joyful event. It's peaceful. It's nonpartisan. It's family friendly. We had one in Ottawa. It was amazing. We all left feeling better. We channeled this energy that we're feeling into something. So that's what it's going to be like.
It's really fascinating, isn't it, Peter? Over the last 8 weeks, 10 weeks, basically since Donald Trump became president and sort of started threatening Canada so much, how this country has rallied together. Jean Chrétien the other day at the Liberal Convention kind of joked about offering Trump the Order of Canada for unifying the country so much. What is it like? What do you feel like as a Canadian when you see how unified we have become based on the circumstances from south of the border?
I don't think in my lifetime I've ever felt this kind of unity. You know, that started with obviously Trump and the hockey. Like we all kind of came together to watch that. And it's just kind of gathered steam. You've got Margaret Atwood. She put a thing up on our Instagram 2 days ago that's totally blown up, saying elbows up. So it's just a moment for Canada. And it's not that we don't like Americans or that we don't like the United States. These are our cousins. We've grown up with them. We know them really well. We just don't want to get married, and I think that's fair. You don't want to marry your cousin.
Yeah, that's very true. True indeed. Are there plans for more of these kind of rallies? You've done Ottawa, you've got Toronto. I can think of several other big cities in the country that could happen. Is this kind of like rolling and gathering momentum now?
Certainly gathering momentum. We do want to do more events. We want to make sure that we are, have those. It takes a lot of energy to put these events on. So we want to make sure that we've got them, set up right. We're looking at doing something in Vancouver, Calgary, Halifax. But we're also launching a toolkit on Saturday for communities across the country that can take the blueprint of what we've done and do it in their own community. So that's going to be online. People can use the logo. We're going to help them, organize and do it themselves, because we don't think it's just the big cities that want to gather. We think people want to do it across the country.
I think you're really hitting on something interesting, Peter. The fact that people are coming together not for money, not for profit, but really for the country, right? This sounds to me like it's all volunteer driven in a way, right?
Super grassroots, totally volunteer driven. Nonpartisan. We don't care where you're from or who you are. We just want you to come out.
Okay, what time is it happening, and is there any sort of fee? Are you asking anybody to bring anything? What's the plan?
You don't need to bring anything. You should wear red. If you want to make a sign, that's great. We had some hilarious signs in Ottawa. It starts at 2 o'clock, and it's going to go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
When you saw Mike Myers at the end of SNL a couple of weeks ago with that elbows up, he had the shirt on, Canada not for sale. That's part of that whole pride, isn't it? When you see somebody who's made it big in the U.S., had a great career there, but he's basically making that point, hey, let's keep our elbows up here. What did that say to you? What did you feel when you saw that moment?
I thought it was a great moment, and we've actually been in touch with Mike, and he's been very supportive, and he's not going to come to the rally, unfortunately. We thought about, trying to have him up. I think we all just feel more Canadian than we've ever felt before. And, Canadians are quietly patriotic. Like, I don't think of myself as a guy who walks around with a cape, Canadian flag cape. But in this particular moment, I think it's important for us to stand up and be proud of this amazing country that we have.
Yeah, the old cliche. I remember when I backpacked through Europe, I had the Canadian flag on my backpack just to let everyone know I was a Canadian, not an American now. And then 1995, I also think about the referendum days. That was another time of Canadian unity. But here we are now, 30 years beyond that. It's really strong again. Peter, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Nick.
Great to meet you. Thanks for being here. I hope it all goes really, really well.